Today, we will recap the story of the 2019 movie Soldier Boy. Set in the 1940s during World War II, Aleshkov is hanging from a tree, contemplating nature, while his mother washes clothes by a river. His older brother Petya is fishing when suddenly an enemy plane appears and starts shooting. His mother urges them to hide, but Aleshkov bravely uses a powerful slingshot to blow up the plane. Turns back, his family is gone. He is soon awakened by a knock. His aunt Anisha arrives, terrified, telling him that his mother and brother were killed. If soldiers find out he is his sister's son, he would be killed too. She plans to say the boy is her son to protect him. Before escape, German soldiers invade. Anisha helps him flee through a window, but gets shot. The boy runs into the forest in fear, clinging to hope his mother would find him while facing great challenges. After hours, alone, he drinks water by a river. Soldiers arrive, forcing him to hide silently beside a snake. After they rest and leave, he scavenges food from their camp, but grows weaker each day. Bombing forces him to flee again. Exhausted in the rain, he is found by two Russian soldiers who take him to camp. At camp, Sergei is greeted by Commander Kuznetsov, who arranges care for him. The boy quickly wins hearts, showing courage and eagerness to learn about being a soldier. Nurse Katya tends to his injuries. Sergei shows off a tank drawing on his belly and teaches himself by imagination, even pretending to shoot a pistol. Kuznetsov reluctantly gives him. Katya pleads for Sergei to stay, but Kuznetsov says a child has no place in war and plans to send him to an orphanage, despite becoming fond of him. Soldiers grow attached, feeling Sergei represents hope for their children's future. Sergei bonds with Rezo, another soldier who gives him candy. During battle, Sergei helps in the infirmary and entertains wounded soldiers by singing and reading letters, though he invents good news as he cannot read yet. He proudly wears his new uniform and helps inspect soldiers' boots and suits. Sergei cleverly overcomes obstacles, earning respect despite his age. Later, Kuznetsov rescues Sergei during a bombing and decides to keep him, tearing up orphanage papers. Sergei becomes the youngest member of the army, with new clothes and boots made for him at camp. The commanders and soldiers come to see him not as a child, but as a brave young soldier who brings hope in dark times. After a few tweaks from the shoemaker, Sergei's new boots were perfect. The next morning, Kuznetsov went to wake the boy, telling him that like a real soldier, he had to dress in 45 seconds. He handed Sergei his new uniform. Overjoyed, the boy ran to get ready, but asked about the sticker on Kuznetsov's face. The commander claimed he'd cut himself shaving. To time him, he lit a match, saying Sergei must be ready before it burned out. A few matchsticks later, they stepped out and Sergei proudly showed off his new uniform. Suddenly, a surprise attack began. Kuznetsov rushed to protect his son, ordering a soldier to take Sergei to the shelter while others dove into trenches. During the bombing, several soldiers were injured and Sergei went to the infirmary to help. He brought them water and comfort. One blindfolded soldier asked him to read letters from home. But since Sergei couldn't read, he made up good news to lift the man's spirits. As bombs fell, Sergei sang to calm the wounded. His innocent voice brought peace to the hearts of men surrounded by chaos. After the long night, Sergei fell asleep on Katya's lap. Kuznetsov arrived and sat beside her, wanting to say something, but Sergei woke up, ruining the moment. Later, as the camp was being rebuilt, two soldiers saw Sergei shaving and teased him about preparing for a date. He replied seriously that soldiers don't go on dates. He reported to the commander for orders. Seeing a bandage on the boy's face, Kuznetsov asked about it, and Sergei repeated his father's excuse. He'd cut himself shaving. Smiling, Kuznetsov told him to fetch letters from the incoming truck and distribute them among the soldiers. The men rejoiced receiving mail from their families, which made Sergei love his task even more. Once finished, he put on his camouflage suit and began exploring. Through his binoculars, he spotted suspicious boots hiding in a haystack. He rushed back, calling Andrei and his men. They surrounded the spot and discovered two enemy soldiers. After a short firefight, they captured them. Kuznetsov soon learned that his son had helped catch two spies and felt immense pride in the boy's courage. Later, Sergei entered his room, and Kuznetsov gave him wonderful news. He'd received permission to officially adopt him. Sergei was thrilled and insisted they tell Katya immediately. He mentioned seeing her cry once when Kuznetsov was injured, which made the commander pause thoughtfully. Meanwhile, Katya was washing clothes by the river when a soldier mischievously took her coat and offered her flowers. Uncomfortable, she tried to retrieve it. Just then, Sergei and Kuznetsov arrived. The commander froze, embarrassed by the situation, but Sergei broke free and ran toward Katya, calling his father, who had already slipped away. Days later, another battle erupted. Sergei moved through the trenches delivering ammunition to Igor, who ordered him to take shelter. Sergei hesitated, wanting to stay, but obeyed. Still, he overheard that the communication line was broken and crawled through the battlefield to fix it. Finding an injured soldier, he followed instructions to reconnect the wire. The signal returned, allowing reinforcements to be called, an act that likely saved hundreds of lives. After the battle, Sergei focused on a new mission, reuniting Katya and his father. He told Katya that Kuznetsov was sick, leading her to rush to his tent. Inside, the commander lay pretending to rest. When she tried to wake him, he startled, insisting he wasn't sick. Realizing Sergei's setup, Kuznetsov awkwardly tried to confess his feelings, but Katya, blushing, left quickly. He couldn't let her go and followed her, determined to speak his heart. Meanwhile, Sergei climbed a tree to observe the camp and noticed new rescue dogs arriving. He excitedly ran to greet them and asked to take them for a walk. Sitting on a wheeled stretcher, he let the dogs pull him, but they suddenly chased a cat toward a minefield. Seeing this, Rezo jumped on a motorcycle and sped after them, stopping them just in time. Relieved, he hugged Sergei, thankful the boy was safe. In the forest, Kuznetsov finally caught up with Katya. Struggling to find the right words, he awkwardly admitted that Sergei loved her very much, though his tone hinted it wasn't only the boy who did. He then asks if Katya would like to become the boy's mother. However, before the nurse can respond, a soldier appears and delivers a letter to the commander. It was a message from the high command. Next day, the army prepares to leave. A few hours later, they stop to rest at the house of some peasants. After eating, they discover that a German bomb had fallen on that house and was still there. The projectile had gone through the ceiling and pierced the floor, but luckily hadn't exploded. The soldiers decide to help remove it before any harm is done. They later continue their march, and Sergei hitches a ride with Rezo and his father. Suddenly, the vehicle explodes, revealing they've entered a minefield. Sergei and everyone around are shocked by the blast, and a few meters ahead, the boy finds Rezo dead. When they finally reach their destination, while his father speaks with the general, Sergei asks what his next task will be. The man tells him to inspect the soldiers' uniforms, so Sergei enlists an officer's help. After checking everyone's boots and suits, he has the man write down the names of those whose uniforms are damaged. Fulfilling his orders, Sergei returns to the general's office to deliver the report. At night, Sergei and his father walk through the forest, talking about the upcoming award ceremony. The Guard Insignia, a badge given to those who risk their lives for their country. This means Sergei will also receive the award. While celebrating his first honor, a bomb suddenly drops, and Kuznetsov is buried under debris. He desperately tries to pull him out, but lacks the strength. Later, with the help of comrades, the commander is rescued and given medical care. His injuries, he recovers and is soon ready to march again with his men. Following year, in 1943, Sergei is decorated as the youngest soldier of World War II, finally receiving the Medal of Honor. The end. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.